Well, well. What an unexpected surprise. It's not often I have guests here in these forsaken halls. Step forward, my dear. Come into the light, and let me get a better look at you. My, that's quite the cloak you've got there. What is your name? I see. A lovely name indeed. So lyrical, like music on the tongue. It almost sounds familiar. Have I heard it somewhere before? Who am I? I am the Sorcerer. It is a pleasure to meet you, my dear. Now, what could bring a delicate little thing like yourself out into these desolate wastes? Are you an adventurer, perhaps? Here to slay the evil sorcerer in exchange for gold and glory? Or perhaps you wish to learn my secrets? Is that it, my dear? You just can't resist the allure of my forbidden magic. You can't help but hear those sweet, scintillating whispers as the darkness calls to you. Such a withering look, now, my dear. I only jest. There's no need to get angry. Though, I do like a fiery spirit. You need my help. Oh my, that is interesting. What could be so important that you would be willing to brave the dangers of this wasteland? What could you desire badly enough that it would lead you to seek out the sorcerer whose name is feared throughout the entire kingdom? A cure, you say? Ah, I see. Your father is terribly ill, and none of the kingdom's healers have been able to help him. He's not long for this world, they say. So in desperation you come to me. You seek my aid in curing him of this unknown malady. Is that it? Oh, well, fear not, my dear. I know a way to cure your father. However, you can't get something for nothing. I'm afraid there will be a cost. What do I want? Well, for starters, how about you tell me who you really are? Come now, my dear, let's not play games. Why don't you lower your hood and let me see your face? You can try to lie, but your voice is shaking like a leaf. Don't be afraid, my dear. Lower your hood. I must know who you really are if I am to help you. Ah, yes. Just as I thought. Good day, your highness. What an honor to have royalty under my roof. How did I know? Oh, don't look so surprised, my dear. I knew it was you the moment you stepped into my halls. Let me look at you properly. My, how lovely you are. Your eyes, as bright as the first stars of evening. Your face, like spring's first flower. Even the scratches on your cheeks can't diminish your radiance. I take it that my crimson creepers put up a fight. It must have taken a lot of courage to simply stand there and bear the pain. Most people would have fought back on instinct, only to end up having the life choked out of them, the thorny tendrils wrapped around their throats. You are brave, on top of everything else. It's no wonder you're the jewel of the kingdom. But back to business. Let me see. Yes. Here is the cure, my dear. This potion will cure any malady, no matter how severe. Ah, yes, it is made using dark magic. Would you expect anything else from me? The exiled sorcerer of legend? But I assure you, the potion will do nothing but good. One sip and your father will be himself again, just as healthy as he was, if not more so. However, I will require something else in return. What's that, you ask? I want a promise. Yes, a promise. At some point, my dear, I will come and find you to name my price. And when I do, you must promise to give it to me, no matter what it is. Well, do we have a deal? Ah, you're trembling, my dear. Are you afraid? It is your choice, Highness. If you wish, you can turn and walk right out that door. But decide quickly. My patience is limited, as is your beloved father's time. That's right. While you stand here idly, his life is bleeding away like sand in an hourglass. Well, what will it... No. Well, then, I suppose that's that. Very good. Yes, I suppose that means our business is done. Good luck, my dear. A pleasure to assist you. I'm sure we'll meet again. Before long. Good evening, Your Highness. Oh, my. Someone's jumpy. Forgive me for startling you, my dear. What brings you out into these beautiful gardens all alone? Growing weary of the festivities, perhaps? I can't imagine why. Who could possibly get bored with all that riveting prattle? Ah, you remember me. I'm flattered. Though I can't say I'm terribly surprised. Mine isn't a face that one tends to forget easily. I'm just too handsome, I suppose. But compared to you, I'm merely another grain of barley in the harvest. You look ravishing tonight, Your Highness. That outfit. The cut of the fabric, the color, it all suits you perfectly. I'm glad to see the king spared no expense, now that he's well. Yes, I heard. Even in my forsaken corner of the world, I have ways of obtaining information. They say it's remarkable how swiftly he recovered. Why, it's almost as if it were magic. But that would be impossible. After all, His Majesty banished magic from the kingdom years ago. It must simply be his own resilience that brought him back from the brink of death, or perhaps his sheer devotion to his kingdom. But you and I both know the truth, don't we? How did I get in? Don't you think there's a more important question to be asking right now? That's right, my dear. I'm here to name my price. It's time to fulfill your end of the bargain. Or had you forgotten about our little deal? Ouch. Oh, wit is sharp as a razor. It would seem the rose has thorns. I must say, though, your honesty is refreshing. Very well, then. Let us discuss my price. No, I don't want an end to my exile, though that is a good guess. Then what do I want? Not what, my dear. I don't care about gold or land or worthless titles. What good would they do to me? No, It's not a question of what I want, but whom. You, my dear. I want you. Yes, you were my prize. You promised me anything I desired, after all. What better reward than the jewel of the kingdom? You are your father's most prized possession, and in exchange for his life, you shall be mine. No. How adorable. It's almost like you think you have a choice. Or do you mean to say that you're backing out of our deal? I would strongly advise against it, my dear. I may have given your father his health back, but I can just as easily take it away. And should you force me to do it, I guarantee you he will die. Slowly. Agonizingly. We wouldn't want that now, do we? Just as I thought. No, my dear, I'm afraid there's only one way that this ends. Finally, that devil you call father shall know the pain he's caused me all these years. Finally, he shall know what it feels like to have everything ripped away from him when I have his precious jewel in my grasp. Not so fast, your highness. Oh, what's that? Can't move? Good. A brave attempt, my dear. But as you can see, my magic stretches far beyond simple potions. Now, isn't it time you stopped resisting? As I've said, there's only one way this ends. Make it easy on yourself, and surrender to me. It won't be so bad, I assure you. I take very good care of my treasures. And you will be my greatest treasure of all. Well, what do you say? Still so stubborn. Well, if you're not going to be cooperative, I'm afraid you leave me no choice. There. What did I do? Oh, can't you feel it? Yes, feel your eyes growing heavy, the tendrils of sleep stretching out, wrapping themselves around your mind. Don't try to fight it. Just surrender. Yes, that's it. Sleep, my dear. Sleep. And when you wake, you will be mine. It seems you're waking up. Good morning, my dear. How are you feeling? Oh, no, calm down, your highness. It's all right. I assure you. I mean no harm. Did you just actually take a swing at me? By the gods, I knew you had fire in you, but such violence is hardly becoming of a flower like yourself. Enough! I said, calm down. You're going to hurt yourself. Now, are you going to obey, or must you force me to resort to magic once again? That's it. Deep breath. In and out. Good. The bracelet. Oh, do you like it? It's just a precaution. I had to make sure you wouldn't try and wander, shall we say. There's no use in trying, my dear. It won't come off. At least not until I choose to remove it. The runes are a binding enchantment. They link you to me. And should you ever get too far away, their magic will bring you right back to my arms. I'm a monster. Only a monster. Dear me, I'd hoped I would have graduated to fiend or demon by now. I suppose I'll just have to try harder. Oh, no. Don't cry, my dear. Don't cry. Please. Very well. Perhaps I am a monster. But everything I do only because your father forced my hand. When he banished magic, hundreds of my kind were slaughtered. And did he ever lift a finger to stop it? Those of us who were left, he forced us into exile, condemning us to a life in the forbidden wastes. And many more didn't survive the journey here. Now there's barely a handful of us left. We live apart, scattered around, in order to make ourselves less of a target for the mage hunters. For ages I've been here alone, with nothing but my nightmares for company. But let's talk about something happier, shall we? How do you like your room? Well, of course you have a room. What, did you think I was going to keep you in the dungeon? Nonsense. After all, a lovely flower, like yourself, would shrivel up and die in such a dark, dank place. No, my jewel deserves a case worthy of its radiance, and I'd say this room meets the requirements. Wouldn't you? Of course, you'll need some time to get settled, but eventually I'm sure you'll come to love my castle and all its charms. Such harsh words. Come now. As I promised you before, it won't be so bad here. You needn't stay confined to your room. The castle is all yours to explore as much as you'd like. My servants are at your disposal, and I shall do everything I can to ensure you're comfortable. But just remember, it would be useless to try and escape. And should you decide to try anyway, the consequences would be most unpleasant. Let you go. Oh, my dear, naive little treasure. How precious you are. I can hardly believe you're finally mine. Your grace, your spirit, your tongue as the edge of a blade, and that lovely face. Are you sure you're not an enchanter in your own right? Ah, because you've bewitched me, my dear. Yes, I can hardly keep myself from kissing those perfect lips. What the hell was that? That burning sensation. Magic. But how? Wait. By the gods. Was that you? Did you just use magic on me? Oh, gods above and fiends below. I can't believe it. Oh, this is too good. The jewel of the magic-hating kingdom, and you're one of us. Oh, my dear. Now I know for certain I can never let you go. You and your magic will be mine forever. Of course. No doubt you need some rest after such a dramatic display. Very well. I shall take my leave. For now. Sleep well, my treasure. My precious little mange. My treasure? Is that you? Oh. As much as I'm glad you're taking advantage of all that my castle has to offer, What in the name of the great mage Everard are you doing in the library at this hour of the night? Well, I'd assumed that much, given the large stack of books next to you. But surely you could have waited until morning. Why must you sit in the dark, straining to try and read by candlelight? It's none of my business. No, that's where you're wrong. When it's my little treasure involved, of course it's my business. Are you all right, my dear? Is something troubling you? Why should I care? My dear, you wound me. Despite what you think of me, I don't wish to see you come to harm. My servants tell me that you haven't opened your door to them in days. The trays of food they left for you have come back half-eaten at best. Those shadows under your eyes, as deep and dark as the midnight sky. Don't tell me you've been doing this every night. There now. It's all right. Here, why don't you give me that candle? As much as I'm sure you'd like to see this place burn, these books have been my only companions for some time. Surely even you would agree they don't deserve that. Just let me. Good. Now then, my treasure, what's troubling you? What's causing those beautiful eyes to cloud with tears? I won't let you be until you tell me what's wrong. What kind of host would I be to let you suffer on your own? Please, my dear, tell me what's... Huh? You don't want to hurt me? Is this about what happened the other day? I see. Well, rest assured, my dear, I'm perfectly fine. A few salves for the bruises, and I was back to normal. As unexpected as the incident was, I admit perhaps I shouldn't have been quite so hard on you. You needn't be distressed on my account. I don't understand. Then what? You can't control it. No. You don't mean to tell me you've been suppressing it? For how long? Your whole life? God! My dear, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine. Wait, your father? Did he know? I see. I can hardly blame you for hiding it from him. And yet, you still risked everything to get him a cure. That devil. He doesn't deserve you, my dear. He never did. What's that? You were planning to change the laws once you ascended the throne. You would have allowed magic back into the kingdom. I see. Well, that would be a very kind gesture. Or it would have been, I suppose. Now that you'll be spending your life here with me instead. So that's why you're here. Burning the midnight oil, as it were. You're trying to find a way to control your magic. But, my dear, you can't simply control it. Magic isn't meant to be suppressed. It's meant to be used. As long as you lock it away, it's simply going to keep building. Until finally, with nowhere left to go, it bursts out, like a racehorse at the gate. Trust me, I should know. You need to embrace it. Stop pushing it away. Once you do that, you can learn to work with it. Contrary to what you've been led to believe, magic can become your partner, not your enemy. Oh? Well, it's a difficult thing to learn on your own, I'm afraid. even with access to all the greatest magical tomes in existence. However, if you wish, perhaps I could teach you. I don't mean to brag, but you are in the presence of one of the greatest magical prodigies in the kingdom. Though I suppose there's not much competition for the title anymore, given how few of us are left. But, oh well. In any case, they don't call me the Sorcerer of Legend for nothing. So... what? Nonsense. Of course they do. Really? What, then? If they don't call me that, then what do they call me? Actually, no. Don't answer that. The point is, I didn't become feared throughout the kingdom for nothing. So if you'd like to learn how to use your magic, I'd be happy to teach you. I understand why you'd be wary, but I swear on gods and fiends I wouldn't try and corrupt your mind, or bend it to my will, or whatever those ignorant people claim that I do. As much as I despise your father, this is about you, my dear. Well, what do you say? You would? Truly? Wonderful. Yes, wonderful indeed. I'll be glad for the chance to banish that frown from your face. My jewel deserves nothing but happiness, after all. With my tutelage, soon you'll be shining more brilliantly than ever. We'll start tomorrow. In the meantime, my dear, I think you are long overdue for some sleep. I'll have the servants bring you up some warm tea. No, it won't be laced with some secret potion, I promise. Just some tea. I find it helps quiet my mind on nights when sleep seems out of reach. You're welcome. Anything for you, my dear? Well, then, I suppose I shall retire too. Sweet dreams, my treasure. I look forward to our lessons. All right, once more, my dear. Hold the rose in your hand. Now, focus. As you turn your hand over, imagine you are folding it into the fabric of reality. That's it. And gone. Well done, my dear. You're getting quite good at this. But vanishing something is fairly simple. Summoning it back is the hard part. Are you up to the challenge? Do I even have to ask? Your determination never fails to impress me, my treasure. Very well. Whenever you're ready. Almost there. Try again. Not quite. Rather than command the object, you must invite it to return to you. It's like you're reaching out your hand, and then, when it comes to you, you gently pull it from the aether, back into being. Like this. There. You don't mind me showing you, do you? That's it. Palm open. Perfect. Fingers like so. Your hands are so soft, my dear. My, are you blushing? Now you're telling me to focus. Touché. Very well, then. On 3. 1, 2, 3. And there it is. Look at that. Not a single petal out of place. Congratulations, my dear. I must admit I am quite impressed. Most new mages find conjuration to be hard enough with inanimate objects, let alone living ones. You are truly talented. Your spirits seem to have been lifted recently, as well. I take it our lessons are helping. Do you feel less afraid of losing control? Good. I'm glad. You don't understand? Whatever do you mean? How could the kingdom be so afraid of someone like me? What? Do you not find me to be evil, as they say? Oh, my dear, if only you knew. What? Oh, it's a long story. Quite sad, too. I wouldn't want to bore you with all the details. You insist? No. No. It's all right. Then, where to begin? I was fairly young when magic was first banned. My father abandoned us when I was a baby, so it was just my mother and my older sister and me. We were quite poor, barely scraping by. But still, they did everything they could to keep me safe. Like you, I tried to suppress my powers, tried to pretend I was just a normal boy. But eventually, I couldn't contain it any longer. The townsfolk noticed, and before we knew it, the mage hunters were breaking down our door. They were going to arrest us all. Harboring magic was as great a crime as using it, they said. When I saw them threatening my mother and sister, coming at me with their blades and shackles, I couldn't keep it in. They say the explosion could be heard all the way down by the river. When I came to, I was standing in flames. Our home was ablaze. People were running, screaming. Most of the hunters were dead. But then, through the billowing smoke, I saw them. My family. Or what was left of them. After that, it's all a bit of a blur. The next thing I remember is being chained up in the king's dungeon. The lord demanded that I be executed. But I was young, he said, and given the circumstances, perhaps a lighter sentence was warranted. So, instead, he banished me to the wastes. Death would have been far too kind. No, let me live a long, miserable life alone, hounded by my bitter guilt. He knew exactly what he was doing, the demon. So, I swore then and there, I would make his life hell in return. My dear, you're crying. Fiends below, I said too much, didn't I? Forgive me. I should never have... What are you doing? Are you hugging me? Oh, I confess I don't know exactly how this works. Do I, hug you back? Oh, all right then. Let me just wrap my arms around your back and... Ah, my dear, I haven't felt this way in so long. My dear, I don't know what to say. You're sorry. No, my treasure, you have nothing to apologize for. It's your father who must answer for everything. Had he not banished magic in the first place, neither of us would have had to hide who we are. You must have suffered just as much as I. According to rumor, the king blamed magic for causing the queen's death. Is that true? So that's it. They needed the aid of magic to give them a child. You. And then the Queen died in childbirth, and the King blamed the very force that had given him what he asked for. I suppose we've both lost someone dear to us, then. My family, the victims of my own foolishness. And your father, lost to his own staggering hypocrisy. Huh? What were their names? You mean my mother and sister? Ah. Eleanor and Lydia. I think they would have been delighted with you, had you met them. Lydia, especially. She had your same spark. She never did hesitate to tell me when I needed to shut my mouth. Trust me, I'm keenly aware that you're more than qualified for that job. You're welcome. Truthfully, I should be the one thanking you. It's been a very long time since I've been able to speak so openly with someone, or had anyone to speak with, for that matter. I don't deserve your kindness. You truly have a heart of gold, my treasure. As beautiful inside as you are on the outside. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, your lessons. I think it's safe to say that you've achieved mastery of vanishing and conjuration. In that case, the next step would be transforming, changing one thing into another. But I think we've done enough for today. Wouldn't you agree? I find I am in need of a rest. If you wish, however, you may continue to practice on your own. I have faith in you. Just refrain from conjuring anything flammable, What? If I ever need a listening ear, I need only ask. Well, thank you, my treasure. I shall see you tomorrow. Come in. My treasure. Thank you for coming. I apologize for interrupting your evening. There is something I wish to discuss with you. Several things, actually. Here, will you sit with me, my dear? To answer your previous question, no. I'm not all right. There is something clawing at me from within, threatening to devour me from the inside out. No, my dear. I am not ill. Unless you count being sick at heart. And there it is. The root of the problem. Immediately you ask if there is anything you can do for me, when in truth you should hate me. I can't understand it. I have done nothing to deserve your kindness, my dear. Nothing. I've been absolutely vile to you, and yet you still persist in heaping compassion upon me that I have no hope of ever repaying. No, I apologize. I'm not angry with you. Truth be told, it is myself I despise. I am nothing but a broken man. Oh, hardly even that. I am just an empty shell, with nothing inside but rage and bitterness. Well, my dear, I appreciate the sentiment, but the fact that you're sitting here right now is proof. You were innocent of your father's crimes, and yet When I saw the chance to take my revenge, what did I do? I made you into my prisoner, a chess piece, for use in my own twisted vendetta. But finally, it can all come to an end. Give me your wrist, my dear. Yes, your wrist. No, not that one. The other. The one with the bracelet. Good. Now, hold still. There. I've cherished our time together, my dear. But a flower like you isn't meant to be kept locked away in the dark. Now go. Leave. What? I don't understand. Of course you want to leave. You're my... Or rather, you were my prisoner. Now, hurry up and go, before I change my mind. What do you mean? This is the only place you've ever felt safe. You felt safe as my captive. I accepted you for who you are. Your whole life you believed yourself to be a monster, but I showed you that you were wrong. I gave you and your magic a place to belong. My dear, you really are too much. I don't think I'll ever understand how that light in your soul continues to shine so brightly, even after everyone around you has made their utmost attempts to extinguish it. Myself included. Believe me, I would like nothing more than to have your light shining in these halls for eternity. But no, you must return to your kingdom, and not merely for your own sake. There is something else you ought to know. My sources tell me that your father is ill again. A different illness, so I'm told. But if the rumors are true, it is far worse than the last time. Apparently, the grief of your disappearance was too much for him to bear. I don't know. Regardless, you must return. Here, take this with you. My last remaining vial of the healing potion. Use it as you will. Don't remind me. As much as I believe he deserves to die, I know you still love him, even if I can't possibly fathom why. Now, take it and go. By the gods, you really ought to warn people before these hugs of yours, my treasure. Though, given that this will be the last time, I can hardly say that I mind. No, let's not pretend, my dear. Your place is out there, in your kingdom. You shall be a great ruler one day. Now, stop stalling and go, before I teleport you there myself. Farewell, my precious treasure.
Not right now. I'm not hungry. Just let me be. God, Steve, I told you, I'm not...
By the gods. It's you. My treasure. My precious treasure. You're here. But how? Is this some sort of cruel trick? Or am I seeing things? That same glorious wit. Oh, my dear, it is you. Wait, hold on. My treasure. I hadn't dared to think I would ever be in your arms again. But what are you doing here? I set you free. I told you, You needed to hurry back, if you hope to get there in time to save the king. Why are you... Hadn't I heard? What do you mean? You were too late. Oh. Oh, my dear. Then your father... He's gone. I'm very sorry, my treasure. Once again, I've caused you unthinkable grief. I won't pretend my hatred for him ever lessened. Still, you loved him. And if I hadn't taken you, perhaps he'd still be here. Don't blame myself. There you go yet again, putting my feelings first. Are you the new monarch, then? Ah, yes. You've yet to be officially crowned, but all the pieces are in place. Congratulations, my love. The kingdom is truly lucky to have you. Perhaps now, magic can stop being treated as the enemy. Perhaps now, mages will... Huh? What did I say? I said now, perhaps magic won't be... Oh, before that, I said congratulations, my dear. What? I said my love. I didn't. I don't. That is. I've no idea what. There are fiends below. I can't believe myself. I assume there's no chance of me persuading you to pretend you never heard it. No, it's not that. Very well. It's true. I love you, my dear. I've loved you ever since you first stepped into these desolate halls. The way you showed such kindness to someone who had caused you great pain. And then you did the same for me. No matter how many reasons I gave you to hate me, you always answered with compassion. And before I knew it, my heart was lost to you. Why didn't I tell you? Because I'm unworthy of you, my dear. What chance could there ever be of a treasure like you returning my feelings? I beg your pardon. I'm an idiot. What do you... Oh. You don't mean to say you love me too? Gods above. Surely I must be dreaming. The feel of your palm against my cheek. Oh, your hands are still as soft as ever, my dear. I never noticed before you have freckles on your nose. They suit you, like stars on the blanket of the sky. I could stand here gazing at you forever. May you do what? My dear, I was convinced this moment would forever remain a dream. But I cannot do this. You are the monarch. I hardly think the kingdom would accept their ruler loving an exiled sorcerer. No matter what, I refuse to put you in any more danger. I'm no longer exiled. What do you mean? You are planning to overturn the sentence of all mages. Magic shall no longer be outlawed, but encouraged, as long as you reign. You want me to be by your side, to show the people the good that magic can do. Well, I doubt the people's attitude will change overnight, but if that's what you wish to do, then I'd be honored to stand by you, my love. I agree. I like the sound of that as well, my love. I swear to you, I will protect you with all that I am. Now then, my love, let's return to your kingdom, and whatever future holds, we shall face it together.